Hello Stampers, it's Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie, and today I have a fun treat to show you. I'm calling it a birthday in a box, and I'll show you why in a minute when I open it up and show you what's inside. But this week over on my Facebook, I have been featuring a new stamp from Stampin' Up! In the Occasions catalog called Piece of Cake. It also has a coordinating punch. As you can see, this is the cake and this is the cake pedestal that coordinates with the stamp set. We are going to be using the Baker boxes from the catalog, and they come like this. There are 8 in a package, and those boxes are 2 inches deep by 4 inches wide, so it holds quite a bit inside. And let me show you what's inside. We're just going to secure this box with a little belly band, and then inside are some little treats that you could give somebody for a birthday. So let me pull everything out and I'll show you what's in there, and we'll put it back in so you can kind of see what's in there. First of all, I started with just some little crinkle paper, and I used some silver crinkle paper. And then I have a perfect size for one. They're cakes by Duncan Hines, or I believe Betty Crocker also makes them. You just put this in a mug in the microwave, a little bit of water, and you don't have to make a whole cake mix. You can just make a cake for one. So if you had a coworker that you wanted to give this to them, they could have it on their lunch break or take it home and not have to make a whole cake. I did use a glue dot to secure a candle to the top of there. And then I also found these little sprinkles, and I thought those would be fun to put inside of this little container. And then I made this little banner, and I'll show you how to make this today too. Let me move the box out of the way so you can see it a little better. I used some of the new gingham paper, and I used the large letters from the annual catalog, and I just cut out the word cake. So I thought that would be fun to hang over, if you're at work, hang it over your desk, or hang it in your bedroom on your window if it's for one of your kids or one of their classmates or something. So I thought that would be fun. And then that folds up and goes right back in there. And I hooked some baker's twine on there. And then the last thing I put in are just a couple candies, because everyone likes chocolate. And then this folds right down, and we can put the belly band right over the top of it. Just like that. So the belly band is 2.5 inches wide, so it does cover the window just enough, so it's kind of a little surprise what's inside of there. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to create this. The first thing you're going to need, of course, is the baker's box. And you don't really need any adhesive for that, but I do use a little bit of adhesive. Let me grab all my supplies here. You're just going to want to fold on all of the score lines to make sure that you have a good fold. I'm so excited to give this to somebody. I think that they would be really surprised to see everything that's inside of there, and what a nice treat that you could have made up in case you forgot someone's birthday and just give them a quick little treat. Okay, so I have folded all of the score lines now, and to assemble this, you just take these 2 front tabs, bring them in, bring this flap over, and then this catches down in 2 little notches down there. Now, I did say that we don't need any adhesive, but I do like to put a little adhesive back here. It just holds the box together just a little bit. These boxes are food grade safe, so make sure and put the adhesive on the outside. Whoops, I got it caught up there. And then just bring it to form your box. And again, it's not necessary, but it's something that I like to do just to make sure that it's going to stay together a little bit better. The next thing that you're going to need is a piece of, now that that's together, I'm using the Animal Expedition paper, and this is cut at 2.5 inches by 12. And I'm going to really quickly go through everything else you're going to need. I did cut out a black scallop circle with the layering circles, and this is the largest scallop circle that there is, and that's in black. I also cut out a white with the same layering circles, and this is the largest regular circle. Those two will layer on top of each other. I have 4 pieces of cardstock, and those are cut at 2 inches by 3 1/4. This is Lemon Lime Twist, Daffodil Delight, Balmy Blue, and Grapefruit. Gorgeous Grapefruit. I think that's Gorgeous Grapefruit. Geez, I can't remember now. Sorry, Grapefruit Grove. Then I'm also using the brand new gingham paper from the Occasions catalog in the same coordinating colors. So I have one for each of the cardstocks that I've already cut. These are cut at 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. Now, we do need to do just a little bit of scoring before we start, so let me put these things aside and grab my scoreboard. We are going to score all of these cardstock pieces at 1/2 inch, just at one end. This is going to form the area where we're going to be able to put our Whisper White linen thread in there to create the string for the banner. So that's all the scoring that you need to do. You are also going to need some tear and tape, and of course a stamp. This stamp set piece of cake is what I'm using today. So the first thing that I did, this box measures I believe it's 4 1/4. And so the designer paper is not going to fit all the way around. So I'll show you how to make it so that it looks like it goes all the way around. We're going to start it at the back and kind of put the box in the center. And then I'm going to bring it up and kind of pinch that edge a little bit and pinch this edge. We're going to do the same over here. Just kind of, what I'm doing is just kind of pinching the edge, and then I'm going to do this same thing here. So then what we're going to do is take it off of the box and just give it a little better crease. Okay, and then we're going to put it back in there and bring it around. So you notice there's about an inch gap in there, and that's okay. So we're going to put some adhesive right here, and I'm going to use tear and tape. I'm just going to run a couple little pieces along there. Just needs to be enough. We're not securing this belly band to our box. This is just holding the black scallop that we made on here so that you can't tell that the two pieces don't come together, and it won't matter because it's going to hold it right together. So bring them so that they match up at the top, and then you're going to take your black scallop and push it right over the top, and then that should be secured. So we're going to set this aside for just a minute, and I'm going to focus on this circle. And you can see in this one here, I did some stamping on the background. I just randomly stamped the happy birthday with some Lemon Lime Twist ink and the happy birthday stamp. So that's what I'm going to do now, is just randomly stamp that on there. And it's not going to matter if it's perfect or not, because you're going to have the birthday cake right over it. I think that's good. And then we're all done with the Lemon Lime Twist ink. And so we can put this piece aside for just a minute. We actually probably could have adhered that, but that's okay. We do need a piece of Whisper white cardstock, just a scrap. We need to be able to stamp, I'm going to cut this end off here. We need to be able to stamp our cake, and I'm using, it's probably easier to show you. I'm going to use this one here, and we're going to stamp that in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends markers to color this in. So there's that, and we're all done with that part. And the colors that I used to color mine in, I'm using Lovely Lipstick in light. These Stampin' Blends come in a light and a dark, so I'm using light. I'm also using Granny Apple Green in the light. I'm using Daffodil Delight Dark and Daffodil Delight Light. And then I'm also using Pool Party Light. So we're going to color this in pretty quickly. It's probably not going to be real perfect because I'm going to try not to make you watch me color this in too long, and it shouldn't take too long anyways. I really like the Stampin' Blends markers. They dry very quickly and you can blend them if you would like. Okay, I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green. That's why Stampin' Up! Has the dark and the light, so that you can blend them and do some shadows. But today, I'm just going to color in the areas to save a little time here. And you don't really need to shadow on this anyway. Some of the other images, you might want to do that too. And lastly, I'm going to just color in the cake, and I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight to color that in. Alright, now that this is all colored in, I need to take my punch and line it up. I always like to punch from the back so I can see exactly what I'm punching out. And there we have our piece of cake. While we have the punch, we also want to cut a pedestal, and I'm using some of the silver shimmer paper. So I have that piece too. And then I'm going to bring this piece over, and I'm going to use a little bit of the Tombow liquid adhesive. I have put mine in a different container because it has a very small opening, and I like the way that it's just controlled a little better for some of the smaller dies. So I just put a little bit of adhesive on the back of that. And then if you notice on this one, I have stamped some little lollipops on the top, and I'm going to stamp those before I adhere the cake to the top. So again, I need my Memento Black ink. And I'm going to kind of look and see where my cake needs to go. And then I'm gonna, actually this will fit. Sometimes it's not tall enough, so I wanted to make sure that it would be tall enough before I put the cake on there, because sometimes you have to stamp down a little bit. Okay, so my cake is on. I'm going to ink up my lollipops one more time. I'm going to pull this back just a little. There we go. The lollipops are on top there. I'm going to color those in again with, I'm going to use the Lovely Lipstick, and this is light. I'm also going to use Gorgeous Grape, which I didn't use on the cake, but I like the look of it, and that's in light. And then I think I'm going to use the light Daffodil Delight. So you might have wondered if those would color in okay over the part that we stamped Happy Birthday, and they do stamp just fine. So this part can be put right on top of our box now, and I'm just going to use a little bit of adhesive and put that on there. Right in the center. Okay, so the box is done. Let's work on the banner. So all of these pieces should be cut so there's a 1/4 inch border all the way around. I like to put adhesive on all of my parts and then go back and stick them on all at the same time, but maybe that confuses you or everything gets too sticky, and so you wouldn't want to do that. Maybe you just want to do them one at a time, and that's okay too. All right, so we have that one done. And then I have cut out my letters, and I used the same colors, and what I used to cut these out are the large letter framelits from the annual catalog. And I just wanted to show them to you very quickly. There are a lot of pieces in this set. It's a whole alphabet. There are question marks and some other symbols in there. So these are very handy because you can do eclipse cards with them. You can spell out names. Lots of things you can do. You can do joy, love, if you wanted to do a Christmas card. So I wanted to show you those. So that's what I did with those. Ran those through my Big Shot. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the same adhesive, and I'm going to mix these up. I'm not going to put them on the coordinating color, so I'm going to put them on, I think I'll use the daffodil, the lemon lime twist, and the lemon lime twist. Let's put on the balmy blue, and then I guess I need to use the balmy blue on the Grapefruit Grove because I only have Grapefruit Grove left, and I wouldn't want it to be the same. Then we just have the K left. So they spells out cake. Like I said, I thought that would be a fun little banner to have for their birthday, inside of a birthday in a box. So these are all set. Now you have your score line right here at the top. So we do need to fold that over, and we're going to want to make sure that it's nice and secure with our bone folder. And then the next thing we need to do, so we're going to turn those all back over, and we want to put some tear and tape on the back of these, but we don't want to have it go down in the score line because we want to put our linen thread down there. So we want to make sure to have enough room so that we can adjust the banner once all of these are on the thread. So we're going to make it at the very top, or the outer edge of the banner. One more here. And then we need to cut a piece of the linen thread. And when I did the other one, I just kind of laid them out. And we are going to turn that over in just a minute because we want to make sure we obviously have them in the right order. So we want to leave enough to tie a little loop at the end, so if they had something to loop it to. I just tied a little loop in the end. Like that. So if they had a little nail or something, or a command tab, they could hook that on there. And then the next thing we need to do is make sure that our letters are in the right order. Like I said, pull off our tear and tape backing. And then we'll go ahead and put the string on, and we'll have our banner all done up. Oh, we don't want those to stick together. Tear and tape's really sticky. So we want to put it right in that edge that we made our score line and fold it over. And this should be able to move as long as you keep the thread in the score line. We'll be able to move them and make sure that there's appropriate space in between each of the letters. Okay, let's turn it over and take a look. So So I see the cake, or the K, needs to just go over a little bit. Maybe the A needs to go over just a little bit. There. Perfect. So this part is all done. So let's go ahead and fill up our box with all of our treats. We'll take off the belly band. I just used a little bit of crinkle paper. Like I said, I used silver. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in the bottom. And then I used a glue dot to attach the candle right to the cake. So that's the first thing I'm going to put in mine. I can see if you didn't want to do a cake, you could do a bigger candle, like these small candles right here would easily fit in there. If you wanted to put some other little small toiletries like from Bath and Body Works, those would definitely fit in there because it's 2 inches. Of course, everyone always likes chocolate. You could put some little tea samples in there and maybe some honey. Lots of fun ideas that you could put in there. So there's my cake banner. I don't want to forget the sprinkles, of course. This time I have some orange sprinkles and some chocolate. So we'll fold our box up and then put our belly band back on. And there we are. We have 2 birthday in a box. You could also put a balloon in there. I was thinking a balloon would be a really fun thing to put in there. So you have 2 birthdays in a box ready to give to somebody who is having a birthday, featuring the piece of cake stamp set from the Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. If you would like to place an order for any of these supplies or other supplies that you might need, you can visit my online store at stampitwithdebbie.stampinup.net. And if you like these projects and would like more of them, please visit me on my Facebook page at facebook.com/stampitwithdebbie. And don't forget to click the follow button so that you never miss a post. Thank you for stopping by today, and I hope you have a great day. Stop back again soon.